I didn't ask you, I asked the attorneys.
I certainly would not recommend approving an ordinance that would be in conflict with state law. So I think that giving us, give us some time to take a peek at it and kind of work through it would probably make the most sense. Because I think what you're asking for is you're asking to approve under a second reading a significant change. This isn't just a minor change, this is a fairly substantial policy change.
Absolutely it is, and you know why?
My business is not policy making, it's to make sure that I advise you accordingly. And I think that I'd like to review it based upon, and that would be my recommendation, is to actually look at the law and see how it applies.
I guess as an alternative, I'll question to the attorney saying, would it be better to approve what we've already got, excluding that, go back with an amendment to this?
No.
No?
Well, we could do that, just in the interest of covering bases. If we wanted to get the one issue, one of the major issues addressed tonight and get beyond it, we could certainly do that. And then if there's determination, when there's a determination of who can remove, then we can add that in later by amendment, and just add another paragraph to it. It's up to you guys. I understand nobody likes to do things piecemeal, but if there's enough desire to get over this one hump, maybe get over it tonight and address the other later, but again, that's mostly sufficient.
I make a motion that we table this.
I already made a motion.
Thanks, Todd.
And then we just can't.
I think she made a motion to amend the ordinance as written.
Unless you're gonna tell me that we need to go
I'm not saying you have to withdraw it, I'm just, as I said earlier, I'm not sure what statutorily who has the authority to remove the agency administrator.
Okay, I'll rescind my motion and ask that we table it until next month when you all can determine what's appropriate.
Can I make a motion now?
You already made a motion?
Okay, so I have to second it, right?
Yes.
I second it.
Roll call. Jennifer Humphrey. Yes.
Joe Ducey?
Reluctantly, yes.
Paula Lowry? Yes. Earlene?
Yes.
Todd Roberts?
Yes.
Danny Martin?
At this time, we have the second reading of ordinance 276, 2019, the procurement policy. We just need a brief summary.
Why don't I take a swing at this? A summary, and I'll read through it.
The summary is fine.
Okay. What this is about is, it's a procurement policy about where you have to do competitive bidding for contracts. And the former ordinance and statewide requirement was at a limit of $20,000. The General Assembly raised that to $30,000. And that makes a lot of sense for a big city, for Lexington or Louisville or something like that. Or for a small city like us, that threshold, we could get in trouble very, very quickly with a high threshold. So the recommendation of this ordinance is to, and other cities of our size have done this, is to lower that threshold where we have to do competitive bidding to $8,000. That's the crux of what this is about, versus having no bid contracts up to $30,000. So on that quick and crude summary, I make a motion that we approve this ordinance for the new threshold.
I'll second that motion.
Jennifer Humphrey? Yes.
Trowuzi,
Yes.
Paula Lowry. Yes. Early Stoneball.
Yes.
And Todd Roberts.
Yes.
As we move on to new business, we have Todd and Amanda Gordon here this evening. Sorry about that. Todd and Amanda Gordon, they are interested in opening a Airbnb here in Crittenden. Todd, if you and Amanda would like to come up.
It's Ashley.
Ashley, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
Right here?
Yes.
Why don't you let her have a microphone?
I don't need one.
Push the button.
Hello, my name is Ashley Gordon. I'm here with my husband, Ty Gordon. Just so y'all know, I'm not a public speaker. But anyways, we're trying to get a short-term vacation rental pass in the city of Williamstown. If you hear me saying Airbnb or VRBO, I'm still talking about short-term vacation rental, just so we're clear, because I call it Airbnb. So 4 years ago, me and Todd bought this house that needed to be torn down. It had a dirt floor basement. We had to deck it up this high. Anyways, it literally needed to be torn down. We saw potential, so we fixed it up. One day Ed Feldman came over. He has about 6 Airbnbs in the city of Williamstown. Said, you need to fix this up and make it an Airbnb. I laughed at him. I'm like, there's no way we can make this an Airbnb. We don't have enough money to furnish it, get all appliances and everything you need for an Airbnb. So he kept on going on and on. Todd finally convinced me to do it. So he said, we'll try it for a year. We've been doing it for 2 years and have 2 successful Airbnbs now. So, what me and Todd have learned about our guests are coming to see the Ark in the Creation Museum. They're not coming to really see anything else. So, they're great people. They treat our house like it's their own. They've never destroyed anything. I mean, they're amazing people. And we've had probably over 200 people stay in our house, probably maybe more. I don't know the exact numbers. But anyways, so I just want to tell you what Airbnbs can do for the city of Williamstown. It will help with the city, the highway traffic. People will be coming off the interstate. They'll be helping the small businesses out. They'll help restaurants, gas stations. And then people, like all the rundown houses, people will start to really notice those rundown houses in the city of Crittenden, start buying them, and then you'll get your tax dollars back from that. From what because they're just sitting there, you're not getting no tax dollars, you're not getting utility money off of that, so they're just sitting there. And then us as Airbnb owners, we take great pride in how our property looks and actually what our neighbor's property looks like. So if we see somebody, we're going to be like people in the city of Crittenden, if this does pass, will be our self-police, because we care what our property looks like. We're going to make sure our neighbors are not doing drugs or trafficking drugs. So if we do see that, we're going to go out and report the issues that we see, whereas otherwise I think a lot of times people would just shove it off and not mention it. The city of Crittenden is pretty much in the middle of the Ark and the Creation Museum, so it's a perfect location for people to come to Crittenden. And there again, you're getting those more tax dollars and revenue coming in. I spoke to Laura, who is in charge of the board of directors or board of adjusters in Williamstown yesterday, and she is very much for Airbnbs. She said all the foreclosed homes in Williamstown are pretty much gone now. People have fixed them up, made them look nice, made the city of Williamstown look a lot nicer. And then she also said, like with overgrown grass and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about, paying a city worker to go mow that overgrown grass because the property owner is going to take care of that. And then my dad is the mayor of Williamstown. Most of you probably know. He's very much for it too. He was reading over my notes today, so he thinks it's a really good idea. The city of Williamstown does it a little bit different than the city of Dry Ridge, but they ask for like a business plan and all this. So I do have my business plan, one copy of it, of what we did have, what we proposed to the city of Williamstown when we did it a couple years ago, if you guys wanted to see that. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Are you going to open one? You have a location already?
We do have one. We have a duplex right before County Line Liquor that we're looking into doing.
And I can vouch, when I used to give driver's tests at the time, up there, the 2 homes that you guys had remodeled were remarkably clean and very nice, and I seen out-of-state cars there. And like you said, you know, you have people come to the community to see the art, you know, and they're reputable people. I would ask and recommend to the council, talk with your attorney and possibly look at Williamstown's, their ordinance and their conditions and adopt them, or, you know, look into it, give them the benefit that they need as city council to forward this, and, you know, concentrate on doing something for the city, and look at that if you would, council. Thank you. Appreciate that. We have Ms. Wanda Hammonds, Code Enforcement Report.
On the table in front of you is a copy of my report for July. We had 11 business complaints, and I always have these on file if anybody would like to ask me what we took care of. 14 residential complaints, and they're on file as well. I traveled on 38 different streets, and many of those I patrolled many times. Seems like my little target area. You keep going back there to get people to comply. Again, on our 204 North Main Street, our burned house. I do have good news. On Friday, I got a call from Dwayne, and he's promised me August the 15th to get that home demoed down and haul everything away. And he did allude to me too that after y'all's last caucus meeting, there was some concerns about some concrete or something maybe, or tree roots that you all may have not been happy with. But he would be glad if somebody wants to meet him down there, or the mayor, he would look at it, because that was not his intent at all. That he wants to clean up the area and make sure that it's satisfactory, so he can get more jobs. So I will keep my fingers crossed, but I'm very confident that by August the 15th, or 2 or 3 days later, he talked like he would only be here probably the 2 or 3 days. However, if I could put my punch in about the house that the city of Crittenden owns, since he is here, and he said he would make time if you all decide, and I don't know how soon this can happen or whatever, but he would be glad to tear the other house down as well, so to clean up that property. So that, if I were a city council person, that's the vote I would take to get rid of that house, because that is prime location out there for real estate. And I just think that house sitting there, and when the other one's going to be gone, it's just going to be an eyesore. So that's just my thought, my opinion. You all can do with it what you will, but Dwayne's agreed to help demo that if you all are interested. I want to thank the neighbors of Greenview. There was on their landscape going into their subdivision was all grown up with trees and landscaping, and I did not ask them to clean any of this up. But folks, this is the people in your community that rally around and do things themselves just because of the pride of your community, and you should be very proud. And I was, and they sent me pictures. Adam, thank you for sending the pictures. And to the neighbors that cleaned that up, I'm very grateful. I mean, it's beautiful, and they're going to put landscaping lights and just go above and beyond. And that's what community is about. I'll also want to commend the people over on 10 Mile. The B-Bears Construction Company have some lots over there that are vacant and a lot of bush hogging. And it just took one phone call. And by golly, they were right back there and got it all cleaned up. And it just makes you so proud when you've made a phone call and you've just, explained to them, you just want a beautification of the city and how simple it would be to just bring a tractor out and bush hog. And they did that. And I sent them a text and told them, thank you so much for coming into the city. And it looked amazing. And there's so many others I could go on and on. That sometimes it's just a matter of me driving around with the sticker on the car, and they're wondering why I'm looking at their house. And I may not even be looking at their house, but at least they know, and we have educated them well, that there are ordinances and that need to be, in place, and that we are making sure that they comply with. A lot of this last month was parking on sidewalks. A lot of people again are walking, and a lot of people got letters on their cars for parking long ways on the sidewalk, not with the rear end of their car on the sidewalk. So we got several people straightened out on that. A lot of people are mowing their grass clippings out into the yard and into the storm drains. which causes lots of problems with our waterways when rain comes. And it's also a danger to vehicles either walking or these scooters or motorcycles or whatever. So my recommendation, if you're going to blow it out in the road, you know, go backwards and blow it back in your yard and clean up the sidewalk and the roadway.
To that point, I don't mean to interrupt
Absolutely,
you,
go ahead.
but as an injured motorcyclist, and I know there's some cyclists in the room here, could we put out some kind of public service announcement to the community about blowing clippings out on the road? I still see it every week, and it's in some of the major thoroughfares that this is happening. It happens on 25, it happens on Violet Road, and people are moving along 40, 50 miles an hour, and it's turning it into an ice skating rink, especially if there's any. Could we put out some kind of, from the city, officially, hey, watch out for the, take consideration for the cyclists in the area, keep your clippings off the street, that kind of thing?
Yes, I think that's an excellent